Alright, so I'm gonna wait for somebody to pop in here. I've been leaving hints like all week, I guess, that I will be doing another live stream on Wednesday. So I see there are two of you here. Say hi, and if you could leave me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, well, time for me to get this show on the road. So you guys know when we sit here, ooh, bit of a extra pour today. I didn't actually mean to pour that much, but it's alright. Smokey Stacks and Mark, good evening, gentlemen. Holy cow, there are 8 of you here. Goodness gracious. And so this is just a little flavored water here. And goodness, I gotta take it all the way up to the top. I did not leave much room for soda. Alright, let's see here. Gary, I just saw you Gary, I just saw you subscribe. Thank you, sir. Alright, Reggie. Glad you could join us. I got my super sophisticated coaster here. I'm good, Sonny. How you doing this evening? All right, so there's 10 of you guys here. If you haven't, or folks here, if you haven't, please leave me a thumbs up. That goes a long way in helping me to, grow my channel and grow these things. And the more I grow, the more I can talk to you guys. So if you haven't already, please do leave me a thumbs up. And also say hi down in the comments. I would love to know who's here. Gosh, this is strong. Woo. All right. 9 of you watching. How was everybody's day today? Woo. Pizza was excellent. Now, mind you, all right, let me get up in here. So, I'm trying to think, when did I have the pizza? We had the pizza either on Saturday night or Sunday night. It was Saturday. All right. Oh, Reggie, I appreciate that. But Mark, yeah, we went out to Uno's Pizzeria, and it was hilarious. When I walked in the door, the girl was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your shirt." I was like, "Oh really? You know about Hacker Garage?" She was like, "Hacker Garage?" And I looked at her and I looked in and I was like, "Oh, you think this is about pizza?" So it was kind of funny. At least it was funny to me. But let's see. Reggie, well, I appreciate the fact that you guys are watching. Jimbo, Las Vegas, more welcome to Horse Ranch. Nice. Reggie, my wife was talking about wanting to come to Las Vegas later in the year, like do a quick weekend trip. So, I don't know. You'll have to keep an eye on, when maybe I'll tell you guys, and maybe if you're not already, follow me on Instagram, so that when I do get out there, you can remind me, hey, I'm in Vegas, come see me, ride on my horse ranch. So, random story about horses. When I got married, our honeymoon, we went to the Dominican Republic. I got on the horse in the Dominican Republic, and only difference between going to the Dominican and being in the States is the fact that they speak Spanish. So I got on the horse, and the guy's like, okay, to turn it right, he's like, it's just like driving a car. I'm like, I can ride or drive anything. I can drive a big rig truck. I can ride a motorcycle. Actually, at the time, I didn't know how to drive a big rig, but nonetheless, I get on this horse and I like a fish to water. Come to find out, so the guy said you turn right to go this way, you turn left to go this way, and the stop. Only difference is as opposed to saying stop, you say pare because pare is stop in Spanish. So I'm stopping the horse, and like I said, I'm riding the horse. Boom, 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 like nothing. The guy comes up to me, he says, "Have you ever been on a horse before?" Nah, nope, don't. He's like, "I've never seen someone take to it so quickly." I was like, okay. You know how you have a little kid and you're walking with the little kid and you tell them to basically go to the next corner or to the next point, and then they kind of wait and wait for you to catch up. Well, that's pretty much what he was on. He's like, "Go to the coconut tree over there." I'm like, "All right, try. Go down to the coconut tree." And then come to find out, a month or so later, I was talking to my mom about being on this horse while I was in the Dominican Republic, and she says, "You don't remember?" Don't remember what? She's like, "As a kid, I used to take you to." My mom worked or taught at a juvenile detention center in Philadelphia. So my mom said, "We used to take the students horseback riding." What's that got to do with me? She said, "Duh, you went with us." I was like, "Oh wow, I did not know that." But random horse story. I'm sure you probably can outride any and everyone that's on the stream right now. uh, what? Seriously? And I'm just giving you props, saying that you could probably outride any of us. That's nuts. All right, so you guys know what the deal is. What do you guys want to talk about tonight? Oh man, Reggie, that is funny. Mm. Mm. So how about Vanna broke down on me today? Uh, I drove Vanna to work today, and on my way home, I was coming off the, off ramp, and can't tell you that, Reggie. That's a, that one's tied away. A little bit of a secret. Um, but so yeah, Vanna broke down on me. I was coming home and was coming off the off ramp, and I had the AC on. "Hey John, how are you?" So I was out. The recap. You missed the pour. It was a little heavy. I'm kind of regretting it, but Vanna broke down on me today. So I was on my way home, getting off the off ramp. I'm like a quarter of a mile, half a mile from my kid's school, and I'm turning, sitting at the bottom of the off ramp, and it stutters and it turns off. Now, I had the AC on. I had something plugged into the cigarette lighter. I had the uh, in Miami. Whoa, but it's like stuttered and just shut off. So I was like, "Damn it." So I was able to push the van. Yes, I had to push the van by myself, kind of off to the side of the road, parked it, and I had to huff it up the hill to where my kids, just like I said, it's probably about half mile away from where it's turned off. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But I was able to get to the school, and then right before I got down to the school, one of the parents, I stopped and I'm like, "Hey, is there any way we can give us a ride home? My van just broke down the street." And then I turned around right into the curb and straight bust my butt. I fell. I scuffed my boots all up, and I turned right around into the curb and just straight, not like crazy fall, but like I'm too old to be doing stuff like that. But anyway, uh, so tomorrow's video it's a banger. Like it's such a simple video. Uh, some Wednesday night or cleaning. Well, Steven, that's right. That's what's up, man. Nothing wrong with making an honest living. That's for daggone sure. Um, Hopefully, I can provide some sage advice about barbecue. I don't know. Sometimes, come on, focus. There we go. Is it Ryan or Rayanne? All right. How are you this evening? So, if you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up. That goes a long way in getting these videos in front of other folks so they can join the party, join the fold, become a part of the SDSBBQ family. Harinder. Harinder? Alright. How you doing from Canada? Eh? No, that's kind of good. Yes, it is a full glass, John. Alright. I'm gonna be no, so that's the thing. I don't know what's wrong with Vanna. Um like I said, it shut off. But it seems like, and I was able to recreate the stutter and it turning off on me. So I know that part of the problem, or one of the problems I'm having, and I think I've told you guys about this before, the Vanna will not turn back on when hot. So she'll start when cold. Whenever I'm doing anything, I'll leave her running and I'm good to go. Now, the only difference today that was in any other of the times that I've driven Vanna and used Vanna, I had the AC on. So I know that the AC puts an additional drain on the engine, and I think it just drove the RPMs down and maybe drove the injection pressure down, and it stalled. So she stalled on me. I was able to go and pick it up later. Fuel filters, okay. That is, I'm telling you, like every weekend I've had something to do. Boom, 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 nonstop. I'm trying to debate if on this Sunday I'm going to work on Vanna and try to do some of those maintenance items I've been kind of putting off and wanted to make sure that there was nothing major. Well, RD Waffler, I don't know if you know this, but the Vanna is a diesel. So, yeah, if anything, it could be the high pressure fuel pump, the oil pump, or an injection, thing. Oh, all right. Well, Steven, I appreciate that, man. It's so RD Waffler. I mean, I don't really think I want to keep calling you that, but what is your name, sir? So I can kind of address you as such. So yeah, the van is a diesel, so fuel filter, probably wouldn't do it. It's gonna be more along the lines of, nope. I haven't. Is it Torgay? Torgies? I haven't. That's fine. RD Waffle, Robert. All right, no worries. I know, John. Well, air too. You need all three. Fuel, fire, and spark. Oh, well, fuel, fire, spark, and air. Well, I guess the fire is a spark, and there's no spark in a diesel, so fuel, fire, and air. But I learned that early on in the Boy Scouts. That the you know, is it 3 C's? I don't know. But anyway, so Vanna stalled on me. I waited a couple hours, and then I went back and was able to turn her over, and she started right up. But I was able to recreate the stall when I got home. I drove around the block a couple times. I thought it might have had something to do with the acceleration and the hard stop. Maybe just the I saw the I don't know, Mark. That's a good one. I can put that on the list of things to not check. But it seemed like the injection pressure was dropping. And I know from research I've done, the injection pressure has to be up over 500 psi for the injectors to fire. Now, when I got to the driveway, when I got home, I was able to turn the air all the way up, and then I turned the steering wheel all the way in one direction, and then it started to stutter. And I held the steering wheel until it turned off. So, don't quite know exactly what it is. but at least I kind of have some sort of direction to kind of go in. All right, so there are 11 of you here. Excuse me. There are 11 of you here. If you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up for me and say hi down below so I can know who's here and I can address you. John, thanks again, man. I appreciate the thumbs up there. I really wish YouTube had a way to show you who was here, who stopped by, or something like that. In order for me to know, like on my end, all I see is there's 11 heads, and right now I see 11 thumbs. Well, 12 thumbs. It just went up. Thank you to whoever that was. Hey, say hi. Whoever it was that just left a thumbs up. Do me a solid. Man. Ooh, it's a heavy pour tonight. So, in case you guys haven't, no, it's hot, I hate it. All right, so I do know DeVille. How are you this evening, Robert? So I know that the number 8 glow plug is, it's got an open circuit, which means it probably just needs to be replaced. I haven't dug in there to take care of that because it's just a single glow plug, and when it was nice and cold. All right, Ronnie. Well, glad you can make it. I'm trying to look at the. Um. So, but when it was cold, I plugged it in, and I didn't seem to have any problems getting her started when I plugged her in. All right, so let's see. Anybody else new to the room, new to the stream, so I can say hi. Long time follower, first time live streamer. I don't know. What do you wanna what do you wanna say? So, but yeah. How are you guys liking? No problem, Kirby. Well, Kirby. I'm like, I don't know if you want you, but no worries, man. Definitely glad you got it. Though that thing went out on Monday. Oh, it is only Wednesday. That's about right. I did start to mention the video for tomorrow. I like the video for tomorrow. The video for tomorrow it's got one of my buddies in it, one of my longtime car friends. And holy cow, Steven. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. The first shoulder of the year, screwed it up, but learned so much from my mistakes. Improper heat control, too much wood, and wood was damp. So here's the thing, Steven. You can cook with damp wood. It's just going to slow everything down, or you have to limit how much damp wood you're going to put in your smoker. The damp wood is going to impart those flavors that you don't want, that you probably got, nasty with. So nonetheless, oh wait, Steven, are you in Canada? No, you're not in Canada. But anyway, Steven, thank you very much for your donation. I think I've told you guys this before. If you during one of these live streams, if you donate $5, I will send you out a sticker. So Steven, I don't remember if I have your contact information, but if you can send me like a direct message on Instagram. Yeah, I haven't sent anything to Wisconsin yet. So if you can send me a direct message on Instagram, then I will send you a sticker and a calendar if I have any more left. Getting wood out here is hickory. What? Reggie, you're in Texas, right? No, you're in Las Vegas. $600 a cord? That's ridiculous. Dude, you need to start cutting down some trees yourself and letting them sit. No problem. Yeah, John, Stephen John says, John says you're now a part of the club. Since you made a donation and you got a sticker on it coming. Oh my gosh, man, I can't, dude. $600, I could get 4 cords. No, yeah, I get 4 cords basically for that amount. I mean, I'm paying $175, $180 for a cord, but still. Rob, good evening. How are you today? Geez, $600. Not too many trees in the desert. Ah, all right. Horrender. Sure. If you want me to make you a roast, what kind of roast you want? You want a bone-in rib roast? You pay for the rib roast. You pay me for my time and send me an address. I'll send it to you. Sure, why not? Delivery is billable. Give you info. Steven, so if you want to take down my email address whenever you're ready, actually, look, let's see. Oh, it's not there. It's just my website. But my email address, whenever you're ready, just, like drop a thumbs up or a one. 175-gallon fuel tank. All right. 175 gallons seems like an odd size. What is that, like a 24-inch cylinder, maybe? Oh, Mark says, yeah, Mark has sent me an email a time or two in the past. Mark says I can go to my YouTube about and it has my email there. Jeez. But you know what, Robert? See, that's the thing. Just like, it's all about. All right, Steven. So my email address is MD Michael Delta and it's Steel STEEL Drum DRUM Smokers SMOKERS at gmail.com. All right. No problem, Reggie. Send spices away. You guys keep wanting to send me stuff. Do you guys? All right. So here's the thing. Comment PO box if you guys think I should open up a PO box. I've had a couple folks mention that they would like to send me things. So comment PO box and I will consider opening a PO box. The problem is I don't know where I'm going to do it. I don't know if I should do it like on my way to work or kind of close to my house. But I'm cool. Yeah, John, where things can be sent. Correct. I know, Steven. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I don't quite know how much, and I don't think I need to get a big PO box because even the smallest PO boxes, if something happens, uh, yep, I agree, Mark. When you live in the desert, the uh, when you live in the desert, there's not many trees, so you have to ship the wood from further away. Okay, Reggie, I'm no pitmaster. I don't own that title at all. All I all I do is I start fires and just so happen to put food in a device that traps the fire. I'm no pitmaster. I don't want that title. Just like people call me chef. Nope. I'm not a chef either. Do it by my house in case there's any. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea, Steven. Stem across my channel, been hooked ever since. Live in Southern California. Ronnie, we're in SoCal. I'm Reggie. I am no pitmaster. I do not. Nope. I don't. I don't know. All right. So John asked Carson. I don't know if I've driven. So I was in Fresno and I drove down to L.A. Do you drive through Carson or near Carson or see signs for Carson at that point? Um, my friends are talking in our group chat. Reggie, seriously, don't consider myself a pitmaster. I don't want that. I think I've said this before. I find that people say pitmaster, they've like bastardized it. Everyone is calling themselves a pitmaster. I don't need that title. My belly and my food speaks for itself. I don't need to give myself some self-appointed title. I'm cool. Also, just like I said, I've heard people or had people tell me, like, "Oh, you're a chef." Nope, I have no formal culinary training. To me, a chef is somebody who has culinary training. All right, so John asked a good question. He says, "How long do you typically dry your wood out, or do you know by the wood itself?" So no. Um, What ends up happening, if you guys have seen that video where I got my arborist Bob, he brings me, a cord of wood in the back of his pickup truck. He dumps it out in the driveway. I pick it up and stack it. So usually what ends up happening is there are times when I get that cord of wood and some of it is not as well seasoned, and all seasoning is drying out. So sometimes, or there are times when I'll have a cord of wood and it'll be wet, and you can definitely tell when the wood is wet. It's just harder to light, harder to it smokes. It gives off that nasty um, bad smoke for much longer than you would like. Uh, More to your point, John, a lot of times or more often than not, he knows that I'm going to be using it for barbecue. So he does not give me green trees often. I won't say he never has, but he does not give me green trees often. There are times when, like, there could be a time in the winter where trees are not, there are not a lot of trees that are being downed or being cut down, so the tree might be a little more green than I'd like. And then again, all I try to do is, if I know that I have some new wood that's a little green and it's a little harder to start, I will hold on to some of the older wood and kind of mix them together. And or as soon as I get my fire started, I'll use the warming box to help dry out the green wood, and it'll help get going. It'll work much faster. Um, Big Reggie said, I watched one of your videos and I think it was for a pork butt and he ate his shoes. You know my famous hashtag, sorry, not sorry. Usually you can rent a mishap PO box at any postal store. Anything that doesn't fit, they'll hold it. And that's exactly what I'm thinking, Robert, as well. Reggie, I'm not a pitmaster, John. No need for that title again. Between Compton and Long Beach, so it's down in LA. Alright, so maybe I've just heard of where Carson is. Rick DeSantis barbecue in Brandon, Mississippi. Lots of guys there thought they were. Yeah, I don't. Rob, I'm telling you, man, I don't. Nope. You guys have seen me. I'm actually losing a little bit of weight, but yeah, I'm not going. There's no way I could be skinny. Uh, Weight of the wood. So it's funny when you have, and this it's one of those things. If you go back to that video where I was doing that big cook and I used Bessie and I was kind of showing you the different sticks, you can pick up, or in that video I think I picked up and I chucked a piece of wood and put it off to the side because it didn't feel right. Hardwoods are heavy. Even when they are dried out, they are heavy in comparison to pine or a softwood. That pine, I feel like I picked up a pine, a piece of pine, and it's like the difference between, and maybe some of you parents will know what I mean. If you have a solid kid, I'm solid. My kids are solid. I picked up, like my cousin's little girl, or like one of my wife's friends, her daughter, and it's like you're expecting it to be, 20 pounds, and it's only like 10, and you like throw it through the roof. That's how the difference between a heavy hardwood and a pine is. It's a feeling. Like, I can't explain it other than to be able to hand you two different pieces of wood and say, this is a hardwood, this is not. And then once you feel it one time, you know exactly what it feels like. Big Reggie, my feelings on pellet smokers are this. There's some people that don't like propane smokers. I don't have a problem with propane smoker. Well, excuse me, propane grills. I have a problem with a propane smoker, but not a propane grill. If I were in a position to get a pellet smoker, I'm sure I would use it and like it. And I mean, just because it's so easy to control, it is more or less an outdoor, like I always say in my wife's grill's an outdoor oven, but you kind of have to fiddle with the temperature. With the pellet grills, you can set the temperature. So, I mean, they're drop dead simple. Yes, Mark, Bessie does have not a, well, there's a rack underneath the cook chamber, but on the side above the firebox, there is a warming box. I used to never think or never really thought about using it until I was cooking in the dead of winter and I had some wood that was just fighting me tooth and nail. I stuck a couple pieces in that warming box, and it was the difference between, night and day. Like, definitely, Mark. Yes, Robert, it does. But usually when you're cooking, you're using hardwoods. So hardwoods are typically way more denser and heavier. Uh, Ronnie, here's the thing. To me, it took me 7 years to get my brisket right. So if you have patience to cook a brisket, then you'll have the patience to figure it out. Hopefully, I gotta water this down some. I had a heavy pour tonight, and I gotta get up in the morning. All right, Steven, thank you, sir. I think the day that you call yourself a pisser. Hey, you know what? I my remixing to me is somebody who he hasn't earned the title, but he can cook his ass off. I mad respect, where it's due. If my remixing wants to tell me he's a pitmaster, more power to him. Mo Kason wants to tell me he's a pitmaster, more power to him. Eric Thomas, these are guys that I look up to more or less. The guys that I saw on the pitmaster shows and other things like that. All right, is it Torgay? Mr. Traveling Barbecue. Where do you travel to and or from? How about that? Propane assist smokers. I think it's a means to an end. To me personally, I find that the best, in my opinion. But I've never used a propane assist smoker. Um, I'm going with wood and or charcoal. That's just me. I will never say never. I know that if I denounce a propane assist smoker at some point in my life, one will drop in my lap, and then I'll have to kind of tuck my tail, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to say that it has its place. I mean, there's certain places, certain restaurants, even certain like mobile caterers and things like that, that like on a food truck or on a food trailer, that you might not be able to use wood or charcoal, so you have to use a propane assist. So I'm not gonna denounce it, but that's not my favorite. Birch and apple wood, Rob. So I cannot necessarily say that I have used birch, but I do use apple. The whole thing is, and this is one of the things. It seems like every single live stream we get the same question: what type of wood do I use? And I say the same thing every single time. I use what's readily available in my area. What's most prevalent in this area is oak. So I use probably 50, 60, 70% is oak. And then I've used like locust, mulberry. I've used some apple wood, some cherry wood, some red oak. Pretty much almost any and everything with the exception of mesquite, hickory, and pine. I don't use mesquite because it's not prevalent in this area. I don't use hickory again because it's not prevalent in this area. I have had my arborist tell me he's got some hickory, but I'm like, I don't need any hickory. I'll deal with the oak. I like the mellow oak smoke flavor. And then pine you don't cook with pine because it'll make you sick. All right, dude, Manny. No, Manny, you're in Philly. Uh, Only negative so far that I've found with the green egg is I have to be patient and let it come up to temperature. That's one of the things that I'm trying to, I'm used to cooking in my big grill on the side of the house, and I have no shame in saying I would use lighter fluid because typically I'm trying to hurry up and get dinner started for my kids or my family, so I don't have half an hour to wait for a charcoal chimney sometimes to come up to temperature and then having, pour that charcoal on top of the other charcoal to get that all lit and burnt and going. And so I use lighter fluid more or less out of convenience more often than not, than anything. But with the big green egg, I have been using my torch. Or actually, I just bought another torch. You guys will see it in a few videos down the line. But one of you guys, I don't know if you hear, one of you guys recommended using cotton balls and 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I used it. I tried it. I ran out of propane. The 1 pound cylinder. I ran out of propane, so I ended up having to use it in a pinch, and it worked. And wow, Ronnie, Philadelphia Grill's champion pellet smoker from Costco. I didn't even know that was a thing. I think being a Philadelphian, born and raised, I you know, a Philadelphia Grill's champion pellet smoker. That sounds right up my alley. John, thank goodness Django is not here. Tune usually get my shipments of wood, a post oak or mesquite. You can grab off 2 sticks about the same size and sort which is season better. You can. It's it's crazy. Like I actually have some wood. One of the next times I'm doing a video where I'm walking out to my garage, I will show you. I picked up some wood from a friend of a friend. He We had this crazy windstorm a couple weeks ago. Well, it's probably like a month ago now. So we had this crazy windstorm, and this guy lost 2 huge limbs off of trees in his parents' backyard. So he cut it all up, and he was trying to get rid of it, but he didn't know what to do. So one of my buddies was like, "Hey, you interested in some free wood?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So he sent me the picture of the wood, and I was like, "Dude, I can use that. I'll have to split it up myself." But what I ended up doing was taking Vanna one Saturday morning, and we tossed all of the wood into the back of Vanna, and I brought it home, and then I ended up having to take the wood out. When I took the wood out, I stacked it up nice and neat so that it could season. All seasoning is just drying it out. Usually, most people will tell you that you should season your wood for 4 to 6 months. And if you cut it in the spring, you should be able to use it by the end of the summer. So I'm cool with that. And I'll probably be able to, need to. Northwest Iowa. Oh, excuse me, Northeast Iowa. Iowa. Whew. My friends' places to cook for them and a couple competitions here and there. That's what's up, man. I haven't done. Um. Oh, all right, Rob. I'll keep that in mind. I'm sorry. Tour. I see. This is the thing. The horrible part about this is I don't know how to pronounce uh your guys. Uh, Tor Torgay. Anyway, Iowa, awesome. It's far away from Baltimore. All right, so Rob, Crisco works if you can't get it lit. So one of the things that I found as of late is I use that weed burner, that torch. Just a matter of patience typically. Let's see. Mark says he was born in Osage, Iowa. Mm. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like when we have a discussion, but you guys are having, sidebars in the comments. That's what's up. Uh, all right, so Ronnie, you tell me when you're going to be here and where exactly you're going to be, and then I can do my best to try to get you in, get you on my smoke schedule, my cook schedule. Uh, Dude, I've never smoked trout, salmon, porgy, uh, sea robin, black sea bass. Yes, definitely. So hey, if you haven't already, I don't get much trout up here, and a lot of times, we they fry it like they call it lake trout around here, and yeah, not really my thing. Uh, yep, a pear burner, and that's basically it. Robert, my pear burner or whatever that I got stolen, If you guys saw me use it to torch the picanha, oh man, I haven't had picanha in like a month and a half, 2 months. And the reason is the last time I used it, someone came on the side of my porch and stole a full propane tank, a full tank, a full 40-pound tank, excuse me, and that torch blown. I'm so mad. I went to use it the next time and was like, where the hell is it? And was so upset that it was gone. But if you haven't already, say hi down in the comments and also leave me a thumbs up. Those thumbs up go a long way to help get these videos seen by other folks. So let's see. Joe Johnson, I really appreciate your content. Been waiting to get into the barbecue game. Not sure how it will work doing it part time. Dude, it's gonna work. It'll work as hard as you work. How about that? Um, I did it part time for a while, and then I got a little, I got not even an incentive, but I got laid off. And when I got laid off, I said, well, screw it. I don't know when is the next time I'm gonna get this opportunity. And I went into doing barbecue full time, and I did it full time for a year and a half. And I tell you, it was hard, man. It's hard starting out trying to run a successful business. It is not easy. I was very fortunate in that I my business was self-sustaining. Like a lot of people, they go into business and they lose money the first couple of years that they hit the ground running. My business didn't do that. My business, I was able to pay enough money, pay for food and other things like that, and then I had enough of a little bit of a profit to be able to pay for fuel for my car, pay for daycare for my daughter, other food in the house. I take care of all of those things. So I consider myself successful and lucky in that part. All right. The torch to use to get my BG up is 15-minute max. Yep. I think I have one or it, John. I bought another one. It's uh what is it? Benzematic, whatever it's called. It's like JT 450 or JT 840 or something like that. I don't know. But it cost me $50 just about from Home Depot or Lowe's. I was in Lowe's. That's yep. George, how are you this evening, sir? Man, um, my rest and I didn't even do a restaurant, but my food business, it was going strong for a good year, and then it just, I mean, now mind you, I did do the majority of the sales of my sales rather through Instagram, and when they changed their algorithm for showing folks whatever it was that they wanted them to see based on what they wanted people to see or what was popular versus the chronological, my business felt flat because I used to post specific intervals of the day because I know that was a time when people would be looking on Instagram. So because of that, like I said, my business it fell off. Even to this day, I can post a picture of if I post a picture saying I'm selling something, I get half or a third as many likes and comments versus when I just post a picture of something that looks good and then I get people asking me when I have or what I have for sale. Nothing. I'm not cooking ahead of time. I'm cooking to order nowadays. So, uh, John, I don't really make many or any of my sides in the smokers. Just because primarily I don't make many sides. The only side that I have made, and it was kind of smoker-ish, was when I smoked some cheese and I made macaroni and cheese for the first time. Other than that, as far as sides, green beans or string beans, I get them from a can. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Uh, yeah. So I pull it from a can, but I doctor it up. That's the important thing. Some people just put it in a can and want to throw it in front of folks. Then you have to season it. You have to doctor it up, and that's what gets people to be like, man, this is good. Even the potato salad and the coleslaw, things like that, I buy them because I suck at making sides. My wife will tell you I'll make meat and have meat on the side and be like, here's dinner. So it's taken me a very long time to get to the point where I make sides. A very long time, and that's just for my family, not even to sell. All right, let's see here. Ronnie says, I noticed and feel your videos when you're catering. You sell stuff by the pound. How do I price it out? So this is another thing. Maybe I should just make a video like FAQs, frequently asked questions. The one question I get asked the most is, what type of wood do I use? The next question I get asked is, how do you price out your food? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Typically in the restaurant business, you are going to uh, you're going to have to charge one part for the actual food itself, the product, one part for a little bit of profit, and then one part for your no profit time. Oh no, so one part is your product, one part is your time, one part is your profit. So if you buy in, and I talked about this in one of the last streams. Uh, okay, John, I see what you're doing there. I coming soon. All right. Um, the thing about like brisket, I talked about brisket not too long ago. Um, Deville, man, you didn't wreck my train of thought talking about the Eagles and hopefully winning another ring, man. I guess you peep my hashtags. There are times when I just post stuff and it has nothing to do with barbecue, and I used to use that hashtag in non barbecue news a long time ago, and I'm like, you know what? Let me bring this one back out because I need to post some other stuff every now and again. All right, so Joe Johnson, dude, man, I am. It's not even about the motivating. Well, I mean, it is. I know it motivates some folks, but that was my life, man. It was goodness. Come on, camera, focus. All right, it was my life, man. You know, I had to. There was no. I mean, hustle was hustle. I had to make it happen, and that was it. Like I said, I was doing barbecue part time, and it was a hobby. And I've talked about this before. I started quote unquote writing a book. It was the book is basically called from hobby to side hustle, or from hobby to full time hustle. It's like got a working title, but I haven't looked at it, touched it really in probably 6 months to a year. I owe it to myself to kind of finish putting it down on paper, just to have a record more or less. But I just don't know what and or how to do with it. I don't know if I should do like some sort of digital type deal where it might cost you, $7 or something like that to read it. But again, I don't think I'd give away too much, too many secrets in it. But Joe Johnson, thank you very much. Now, as far as how do I come up with prices for bulk orders, so the way it stands right now, I charge $16. Come on, camera, focus. I charge $16 per pound for brisket. Actually, you know what? Go out to my website. It's all on there. But the website is stilldrumsmokers.com. But the whole thing is, I charge one price for 5 pounds and under, one price for between 5 pounds and 10 pounds, and then another price for 10 pounds and up, uh, for brisket, pork, and chicken. When you're talking about baby back ribs, I also give you like a break. If you're ordering like 6 to 12 racks, I'll give you a break. And mind you, I'm charging like 25. Well, I'm charging $25 for a rack of baby backs, right? If you get 6 racks, I might charge you $24.50 per rack. If you get 12 racks, I might charge you $24. And I mean, it's you just have to give folks a little bit of a break, or if you tell them that you're giving them a break, when really by the time it's all said and done, you get me to cook you 12 racks of ribs, I'm making the money like I'm making my money 2 or 3 times fold. But I'm giving you a discount so that you in hopes that you buy more. Like You get somebody that's like, oh, well, I'll get 9 racks. I'll get 10 racks. Well, look, if you get 12, you can get it for even cheaper. So basically, by the time it's all said and done, the 2 or 3 racks of ribs that I would have left over, I'm basically throwing them in for free, more or less. It's one of those things where you'll figure it out. This once you get cooking, once you get going, it'll come to you. I swear. It's like riding a bike. Truly, it is. Uh, oh well, thank you, Deville. I have there's some like if you go back early in my Instagram page, there are some hashtags that I came up with back in the day that were like, damn, who thought of that one? Hold on, man. I'm getting emails. Let's see what this says. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. I really do. John, so I think I've alluded to this in the past. I'll get my beef, I'll get my pork, lamb from the Restaurant Depot. My chicken, for the most part, I'm getting chicken wings, whole chickens, boneless, skinless thighs, boneless, skinless breast. I'll get those from Sam's. And the reason being is Sam's, I can get them in a smaller pack. So if I have an order for 4 or 5 pounds of chicken, I don't need to buy 80 pounds of chicken, which is what I would need 40 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs and 40 pounds of boneless, skinless breast from the Restaurant Depot. Now, the last big cook, or when I did the cook for the basketball, what is that thing called? Banquet. All right. When I did the cook for the basketball banquet, I ended up buying 2 cases of a case of boneless, skinless breast and a case of boneless, skinless thighs, because of the fact that it was close. Like it was like half a dozen, or or 6. Because if I had gone to Sam's, I would have paid a little bit more money, and gotten the exact amount of food that I needed. But I got more food, more chicken, and paid a little bit less. So it washes out, because the next time and the last time I actually had a cook, when I did that birthday party, that small birthday party, the chicken that they wanted for that, I ended up using part of what I purchased in excess for the basketball banquet. So it cost me less money out of pocket for that event. Ronnie, Ronnie, look, man, that's what's up. I'm watching your videos all the time, to the point where my wife asked me, "Am I with my friend?" Ronnie, yes, man. If you watching the videos, if you down, if you laugh at my jokes, if you think I'm funny, or if you learn something, then you're a friend of mine, man. For real, that's what it's all about. um, Ronnie, that's what's up, though. Let's see. You bringing your ribs? Wow. So no. So John, typically I don't. You know why? It's because I don't. Most of the time, folks don't want to pay me up front. For bigger events, I'll get paid up front, but I'm trying to keep some of the profit. Like the last couple bigger catering jobs I've done, or like when I'm moving pinball machines or arcade cabinets or whatever, if I'm getting, like, the last job I did for a arcade cabinet was like $160, um, to move the cabinet, and I will put some of that into buying dinner for the family. I'll put some of that into the tank, the fuel tank in Vanna. So I don't usually buy the ribs by the case. Now, there are instances when, now here's another thing too. A case of baby back ribs is 5 packs. Shoot. Hold on 1 second. Alexa, stop. I set an alarm for, it was supposed to be for 9 o'clock to remind me at 9 o'clock to start the live stream, but I actually said the wrong time, because it is 9:57 and not 8:57. So I've been doing this for about an hour now. So let's see here. Try to catch up. So John asked about buying my ribs by the case to in order to get a good price. So one of the things, John, you'll find with the Restaurant Depot, you don't necessarily have to buy the ribs by the case, or you don't have to buy the meats by the case. They once you buy a certain amount, so like baby back ribs, if I'm not mistaken, baby backs is 41 pounds before you get the bulk price. Briskets, it's 60. Brisket might be 51 pounds. If it's not 51 pounds, then it's 60 something pounds. And pork shoulder is like 60 pounds. So what I've done in the past is, I mean, I've been that guy standing in the aisle, weighing each, not weighing, but looking at the tags, and like you get, so let's say you get 41.1 pound, you're getting that bulk discount. And I've been the guy like, oh, I need this one is 15.2, and this one is 14.7, and this one is, because basically I think with brisket, it's either 46 or 51 pounds, and then you can get that bulk discount. So I've done it, like bought three 15-pound briskets, which puts me at 55 or 45 pounds, and then bought like a 7 or 8 pound brisket just to take me over. And then because I'm getting that volume discount, I'm getting the next cook, basically that next brisket, at a much reduced, much cheaper price. Getting ribs by the case is not always the best, because I like to actually look at the ribs and make sure that the ribs are, ones that I would like to actually cook. When you get them out of the case, you never know what you're going to get if you don't open them up. And in the Restaurant Depot that I am in, or that I am at, or I shop at, the ribs that are in boxes, briskets that are in boxes, pork shoulders that are in boxes, you never know what the weight in each of those packs is going to be. So I rather like piece it together by standing in the aisle and doing the math to make sure I can get that, I hit that bulk volume discount price, versus just picking up a box. I've been burnt by picking up a box where I'll get things that are too heavy or they're too light. So as opposed to me being able to cook two briskets, I'm gonna have to cook three, or to hit a certain weight of a meat as far as a yield. So hopefully that makes sense. Um, Deville asks, "What's my biggest seller after brisket, wings or ribs?" Honestly enough, it's whatever I'm cooking. If I cook it, they're gonna buy it. That's how it is. I don't get much. And then one of the things too, and I say this. How do I put this? I don't actually like cooking wings. Wings are the bane of my existence. Wings are very labor intensive, and if I had my choice, I'd cook brisket or pork shoulder or even boneless, skinless thighs and breast over cooking chicken wings and ribs, because ribs are also, they're not as labor intensive, but they just, it's just more work. It's more labor. So they're not my favorite thing to cook. But are they good? Yes. Do they sell? Yes. Do they have a decent profit? Yes. Um, there are plenty of times where I could tell you that I would, back when I was working, for myself full time doing barbecue, I could start the week and have $25, $30 in my pocket after paying for daycare, after paying for fuel in the vehicles, fuel in my car, gas in my wife's car, after paying for the toll, after paying for, cell phone bills, all of these things I paid for, and I could have start my week with, start a Monday or a Sunday with less than $50, and like there were times when it was 20 or 25. I could go buy one pack of chicken. All right, one pack of chicken, it used to cost me $15, just about, plus or minus. I could take that one pack of chicken and I'd make 30. So then I'd go back and I'd go and chicken wings. I'd go back and I'd buy another pack of chicken wings, or I'd buy a rack of ribs or a pack of ribs. The pack of ribs used to cost me $30. I sold them for $25 a rack, right? $25 a rack, you do the math, that's $75. Now with the $75, I'd go and buy a brisket and pork shoulder. When I buy a brisket and pork shoulder, I take that money, just like the 2 Chainz. The 2 Chainz, it's not 2 Chainz. It's Future. When he talk about effing up some commas, and he's talking about how he takes, 100,000 to 100,000, take another 100,000 to 250,000. to 250,000, 500,000, then he takes it up from it to a million. That's what I used to do damn near every single week, starting with a pack of chicken wings. I used to buy, if I had enough, I'd buy a pack of chicken wings and I'd buy a pack of ribs. Okay, it used to cost me $45 just about to buy a pack of chicken wings and a rack of ribs, and from that $45 that I would spend, I was making 100, and then I'd take that 100 and I'd buy brisket, pork shoulder, ribs, and wings again, and then from that 100 I'd make three, and then from that three I'd make six, and then typically it'd be the end of the week, right? But I would be paying for my daycare. Daycare was like $150 a week. I'd be paying for fuel. Fuel in my car was like $45, $50 a week. Fuel in my wife's family was another $45, $50 a week. Easy Pass, cell phone bill, you name it. I like I said, my business was successful to the point where I always had just enough to pay for more food to make more money, and then I had money in order to pay for groceries. When I was buying, like I said, I'd go into Sam's and I'd buy wings and ribs. I would get snacks for my kids for school. I'd get juices and other things like that. What? Ronnie? Okay. Anyway, so John, hopefully that roundabout answers your question. Which is Prime, Restaurant Depot as Angus, Choice, and Select. You know what, Ronnie? So, honestly enough, I have not seen the difference between like a Prime brisket versus a Choice or a Select brisket. Well, actually, I think I have not seen the difference between Choice and Select. So, I've never bought a Prime brisket just because I can't afford it. I'm trying to check. No problem. So, but John, I mean, you know, like I said, hopefully that makes some sense. The brisket, because I can buy one piece if I need it. The pork shoulder, again, one piece, which comes in a dual pack. And I don't know. I kind of need to look this up because this is a question I've been having. When you buy a pack or pork shoulder, you get two. So I don't know if it's two pieces from the same animal, but usually it ends up being like one piece is bigger than the other piece. So I don't know. Most humans are not symmetric. One part of your body is bigger than the other, but I don't know. Just things that make you go All right, I'm slow today because I did a heavy pour and I've had to backfill. So all right, we're at the hour mark and whew, just halfway. All right, so this has been another one of these great discussions. I cannot even lie. You guys are coming up and asking some very great questions. Thank you again, as always, for hanging out with me. So Curtis, I'm not one of these people who charges like if you're having 100 people, I'm charging you $15 per head. Uh I'm gonna cater it to your budget basically. Um, every event is different. I can tell you that if someone says, okay, uh, yeah, John, I tell you, every now and again, I make sense when I have these like ramblings, but there's certain things that I notice that you might not notice because you haven't cooked enough of them just yet. Of anybody in this room, I think you probably are. You're well on your way, like to cooking more. But so Curtis, back to your point. I don't charge a set amount per event. Every event is different. Every budget is different. Every person that you're going to be dealing with is different. So I cater the cost to them. If I have 100 people, usually, I've said this before, usually whenever I have an event, I'm going to be telling folks that I usually recommend a half a pound of meat per person plus a 25% overage. So I know that somebody says, oh, I'm having 50 people, because I've done the math way too many times. 50 and a half is 25. 25 times 1.25 is 32.5. So you need 32 and a half pounds, theoretically. What I usually do is round down to 30, okay? And then I say, what I would recommend is 10 pounds of brisket, 10 pounds of pork, and then 10 pounds of chicken. All right, Mark, thank you very much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate your comments, your candor, your advice, your critique, all of those things. Definitely do appreciate it. Thank you again, as always, for hanging out, Mark. But the whole point is you can tell people, and this is a suggestion. So, again, 50 people, you're going to round down, or I round down to about 30 pounds, and then I say, hey, you're going to want like 10 pounds of pork, 10 pounds of chicken, and 10 pounds of beef. Those people who don't eat pork will eat beef or chicken. Those people who don't eat pork or beef will eat chicken. And then those people who don't eat pork, beef, or chicken, that's just a huge mistake. Uh huh. Eggtoberfest. Uh, I would love to try to get to Eggtoberfest in Atlanta. The only thing is October. I think you said when it was, and I know I have some things going on already early October. Plus, it's 12 hours away. Though I do have family in Atlanta or outside of Atlanta. Nonetheless, yeah. All right, so I see there are 12 of you still on the live stream. If you haven't already, please say hi, and a thumbs up will be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. Let's see here what we have going on. Tickets. Rob, thank you, sir, for subscribing. I do appreciate that. Derek, how are you? All right. Well, Ronnie, please, definitely. It seems like I've been doing a live stream one during the weekend at some point, maybe Saturday or Sunday night. Usually they're on at like 9 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out. And then Wednesdays also seem to be a great night for me because of the fact that I don't have to get up as early in the morning on Thursday. You hang out with me, have a glass of clear, and we talk. Well, not all clear. Mm. Derek, what's good, sir? You know. All right, Justin, just figured out how to turn on comments. All right, John Joe. All right, I hope you're listening to this. It took me 7 years to get brisket right. No bullshit. 7 years. I went to Austin, Texas with my coworkers for work, and they said, "Yo, we're gonna go to Austin. We're gonna get our rental. We're gonna go to Rudy's. Then we'll go to the hotel. Then you take a nap." I'm like, "What? You ain't taking no damn nap in the middle of the day? What are y'all talking about?" I got to Rudy's and they were like, "You're gonna want the extra moist brisket." What the hell are y'all talking about? Then it was like this. Oh my damn. I never tasted anything like it before in my life. And because of the fact that, I'm like, yo, I've been the guy to cook on the grill. Or, I'm the one that takes over the grill whenever I go to an event. I'm like, this brisket stuff, like, how do I get more of it? I spent a couple days in Austin and had an amazing time. And if you know anything about barbecue, Austin is there's great barbecue in Austin. Now the first time I went to Austin, I did not. I had the opportunity, or at least the first or the second time, I had the opportunity to go to Franklin's, when he was still cooking barbecue at the golf station or whatever the gas station was on the side of the road. I did not go. We didn't go because it was like, hey, there's this new guy. He's got some truck set up at a gas station, but the lines are way too long for you to go at lunch. So we never went. So that was my last opportunity to get Franklin's barbecue, and unfortunately, I did not. But when I came back to Baltimore, I could not find. All I knew was it was called brisket, and man, I started cooking brisket flats, and I was doing it wrong. And what ended up happening was it took me, like I said, 7 years before I got it to the point where I could get it consistent. And the final piece was this cooking in the steel drum. That's the way, or that's why I named my company Steel Drum Smokers Barbecue, because of the fact that I started my company using steel drums to smoke meat. Uh, yeah, Rob, yeah, no bullshit. 7 years. Joe Johnson, 7 years. Now I can tell you, you hit me up on a personal level, I can give you some, man. Uh, yes. So tri-tip, I have done a couple tri-tips, John. Uh, and this is John Grinnell. So, damn you, DeVille. I'm about to start cursing at you, man, because I haven't had rubies in a long time. It's been a long time. I'm hoping to actually do some travel this year for my company, and I've already told my manager, like, yo, you're sending me to Austin, right? I have the Oh man, you have such a great time in Austin. Austin is great because, as you guys see, I'm a drinker. So Sixth Street, what? Yeah, and then usually one of my coworkers is Asian guy. He doesn't drink, so guess what? The only time he drives while we're there is when I'm drunk, and that's like almost every night. Per diem comes in handy. So John, I have cooked tri-tips. Tri-tips for me in the Baltimore area are not very easy to come by. The last time I had tri-tips, it was one of those deals where it was like $4, $5 a pound, and the smallest bag I could get was like 15 pounds. So I wasn't really amped on trying how to cook tri-tips without, like doing some thorough research. But tri-tips are great to reverse sear. All right. Oh hell yeah, man, Deville, you talking about sending me Rudy's? What shit? You just speaking my language, man. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what, guys. I really like Rudy's barbecue sauce. It now I don't use it for my customer stuff. I use it for my own. It's got a good kick to it. It's not spicy. It's just kick. Yeah, I use that, and I've also used one of my friends. She went to Texas and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be in Austin, or I'm going to be in San Antonio." And I'm like, "Yo, you have to go to Rudy's." I'm like, "I want you to bring me back some of this, some of that, some of this, and some of that." She's like, "Okay, no problem, sure." When she came back with mm-mm. Ryan, I don't like Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, like, at all. But so she brought me back. One of the things she brought me back was a turkey rub. Now I used it one time so far, and I still have it, but I haven't used it much. But I used it to fry turkey. When I say it was amazing, I mean, damn, it was good. And it is the turkey rub. Jack Daniel's barbecue in a bucket. I can't say that I've had Jack Daniel's barbecue in a bucket, but I do not like Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce. Uh, Justin, where are you geographically? Justin, are you in Mexico, or the Rudy's I went to was in Austin off of I-35, Colorado. There's your problem. Go to a Rudy's in Texas. It will change your life as it did mine. Oh, man. Yo, let's stop talking about Rudy's because I'm bummed that I can't get Rudy's like right now. Like I'm sure I could ask or send someone. Like the way you record while you're out and about. Also notice the clock in your kitchen. Like, yep, dude. You know what's funny, Ronnie? Um, I actually go to great lengths sometimes to hide that clock. When I start, um, when I start my cooks, a lot of times you'll see the clock, and if you look back at the videos, you'll see that later in the day. Poor man, John, I can't forget about Rudy's. It changed my life, man. And I'm not pouring another glass. But anyway, I go through great lengths to hide that clock. The whole thing is I'm very cognizant about different things that you see in the videos. So that you see the clock, it says a lot. Ronnie, I appreciate that, and definitely the hustle is real because you guys think about it like this. Do you know how much less time it would take me to not film? And typically, because of the fact that I'm filming by myself, I have to set up the shot, set the camera up, set the record, all the dead space in front of what I actually want you to see, and then all the dead space in after I finish saying what I have to do, and then I have to stop the camera. And there's a lot of work that goes into putting on one of these videos. And the video tomorrow is super special because I had someone that was able to film for me. Like the video where I helped Tony out in putting together that the charcoal basket. That video was great because I wasn't on the camera at all. Like 90% of that video, Tony and his brother Charles put put that on. They filmed it, so that's why it's a little shaky, but that's fine. But that's just because they were holding the camera in the hand as opposed to it being on the tripod. So, but tomorrow's video, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., please, 7 a.m. Eastern, please set your clock, set an alarm, do whatever. And I'm telling you, the video, it's so simple, but this video is so good. Like, it's so good. The steak that happened in this steak. This is the first time I'm cooking a steak on a big green egg, and oh my gosh, it turned out phenomenally. This is like, I'm not a big New York strip fan, but after having this steak, I um sorry Justin. After having this steak, I understand why people eat New York strips. Like seriously. All right, Justin. I said it before and I'll say it again. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. What's opening in? Trying to fix the barbecue scene. Trying to kick off my company. All right, so Justin, you said you were in where? Oh, no, southeastern Colorado. Where is that? Southeastern Colorado. Like by that 4 Points area? That's very helpful. He's in the desert. I guess there's the desert and the mountains. I'm good with geography. So there are 11 of you guys hanging out with me. See, I told you I'm good with geography. Um, but there are 11 of you guys hanging out currently still. If you haven't already, please do leave me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And it goes a long way in helping to spread the love or excuse me, show these videos to other folks. All right, so what do I think about the sous vide method? I tried a few times, but I prefer a hot sear. So sous vide is a perfect way to cook a steak. Perfect. You cannot mess up cooking a steak in a sous vide. Now the only problem is when you cook a steak in a sous vide, it doesn't have that outside crisp, that outside bite, that outside char that you're looking for, that you're so used to, that you have to actually sear it. And I've tried searing it in a cast iron skillet. I've tried searing it, in a cast iron, like a griddle. Doesn't work. The best way to finish your food after using a sous vide is a torch, hands down. With the exception of salmon, I don't need you don't need to you don't need to you don't need to sear salmon. It's pretty much perfect out the bag. Justin, okay. I'm sure you see. Uh, yo soy 100% moreno, okay? No tienes no dominicano, no tienes no mexicano, no tienes no, ¿cómo se dice? Said dominicano already. Like, no, I'm black, dude. Man, Cinco de Mayo, I'm gonna be drinking. Just cause. Uh, just cause. I don't. I'm glad you guys like that. See, John, I know you understand that, and Justin and Aguilar, I figured, you, uh, Justin. Here's the thing, man. I don't gotta cook. That's the thing. Technically, I do gotta cook, but I don't want to cook. Uh, DeVille, I'm telling you, I'm a simple man. I'm I'm all about the clear. The clear is my favorite. Um, Definitely. I thought about getting some beer and drinking beer for this live stream, but I probably would have way too many beers and I'd have a problem tomorrow. So I limit myself to one glass of clear, and it usually is about an hour and a half. That one night where I drank two and some change glasses of clear, whew. John, no need, man. I got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. ¿Qué tipo de cerveza tú quieres? I told you guys before, or I've mentioned this in a live stream. No, I do not drink tequila. Uh, man, I think I'm gonna save the tequila story for the next live stream. How about that? We're gonna hold you guys. Ice House, really, John? I wouldn't. Ice House? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get some. This is just some sparkling water. It's like a flavored soda. Oh man, dude, there is. The memory is I don't remember being in Mexico when I had tequila. Ah, seriously, Ice House? I'm not gonna knock it. You might see me have some with it soon. Um, hey, I'm I'm a pro. I'm seasoned. I've built up a tolerance. So, but anyway, I don't speak Mexican. That's Spanish. All right. Um, Pet peeve of mine when people say uh, that person is Spanish. Typically, in my area, that's not the case. In Baltimore, the majority of the people who speak Spanish are Latino. Uh, mm, I'm still stuck on the ice house. Hold on, time. Rob said tequila. He woke up naked under a fir tree and used random garbage to stay warm in San Francisco in 2006. Dog, you realize this is on the internet. Like, the internet is pent. Oof. Dude. Um, but damn, Rob, seriously? What? Man said he used random garbage to stay warm. Damn. All right, not gonna knock it. So Joe Johnson says, "Man, I used to drink everything. Now it's whiskey only. You know what? I go to a bar and typically my lead off drink is a Long Island iced tea because you can go in any direction from there. But when I'm at home, a lot more often than not, I drink. I like the clear. I like moonshine. I like corn whiskey. Uh, whew. Ronnie says he's into barbecue so much that his family says he has barbecue sauce pumping in his veins. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know, everybody has their vice, and if your vice is barbecue, more power to you. For real, for real. John says, Rob, TMI, my friend, TMI. I agree. So hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the judging factor. Um, dude, Rob, how old were you in 2006? Because if you was a grown ass man in 2006 doing shenanigans like that, then that's a problem. Uh, problem. All I did is puke in my boss's truck. Justin says all he did was puke in his boss's truck. Bourbon guy, always a Bud Light or Coronas for my beer. Oh my gosh, DeVille. All right, well, you know what, Rob, you are excused. Um, you are excused. Uh, if you were 18, you know we all make mistakes. You know what, that was level setting. You had to find out what was too much. So you level set at 18. I got it. Um, DeVille says he's a bourbon guy, but Bud Light or Coronas for his beer. Now I tell you, growing up in Philadelphia, the beer that I drank, the beer that was most dear to my heart was Yingling. Was Yingling. Yingling disappointed me not too long ago, so I have made the switch from Yingling, and I have been drinking Miller Lite. I think I've told you guys this before, I'm a diabetic. So I'm not supposed to be having all of the sugar in a regular beer, so I'll drink Miller Lite. And the good thing about drinking Miller Lite is because it's half the calories, I typically drink twice as much beer. It's my own math. Don't question it. Yours is not the reason why. Invert the last and multiply. That's how I feel about it, damn it. Anyway, uh, so I'm at like a third, less than a third. We're at 2.5 cups left. Pitmaker's Vault. No. Have you ever heard of Pitmaker's Vault? What do I think? I don't know what Pitmaker's Vault is. Typically, while I'm doing these live streams, I have my laptop set up here, and then I can, search on Google for whatever it is you guys talk about, or look at the map to see where you guys are, and things like that. But my laptop is in my bag. It's kind of behind this wall here, and I didn't set it up. Being lazy tonight. Huh. Dude. Hmm. Yo, feel free to have conversations in the comments. Don't mind me. All right, guys. So it is just after 10:30 Eastern. Oh, Pit Maker's Vault is a smoker. Is it insulated like charcoal gravity fed smoker? Now, if I had my way, that's the next move. Like, all right, see, let's see, just don't want to spend that money, dude. I think those vaults are like Vicky, and if I had, yep, okay, double insulated but not gravity. Why do you need double insulation, dude? Uh, A Vasquez, lift, laugh, and love barbecue. Dude, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm almost done. Nothing much, man. Hopefully you saved a life for something tonight. I know you fireman. Goodness. But as far as the pit master's vault, I would love one of those. You got to think about it like this. I love salud. Man, okay, you missed it, but I speak enough Spanish to get myself in trouble. And $3,500 for a smoker is nothing. Because here's my take on it. I look at all of my smokers as investments. If I was like dead flat broke, I could sell my smokers and make more money off of them, and nah, I wouldn't make more money. I'd make money even though I bought the smoker for this price, used it and made this amount of money, and then I sell it for this price. Like, I'm not greedy, but yeah. But the vaults that you guys are talking about, um, I'd love one only because of the fact that, oh, excuse me, I would be able to have the installation like Vicky, but the cooking capacity of Bessie, my goodness, I could do some damage with that. Oh, we are about, goodness gracious. So, uh, Mr. A. Vasquez, um, yo hablo un poquito español. I speak just enough to get myself in trouble, and I've talked to you guys about this before. Usually it's crazy. I'm typically like three-quarters of the way done the glass before I start speaking Spanish. John, you've been in here before enough to know that when I start speaking Spanish, it's a wrap. All right, so I'm finishing off my little sparkling water here. Uh, all right, so um the guy that built Bessie, I made him a promise that I would never tell anyone how much I paid him for that smoker, because at the time he uh he liked me. Uh, we became fast friends, and he wanted to help me out. So he told me he was going to sell me the smoker at a deal, a bargain, just because he knew that I would actually put it to use. So I told him I'd never tell anybody how much I spent on it. But if anybody like, if anybody is serious, Bessie would definitely be for sale, and she wouldn't be like, I wouldn't take anything less than 3 grand for Bessie. Like, easy. Lone Star. I've seen some of those insulated vaults, um, and they're worth it. And I'm saying they're worth it because I know the potential. Come on, focus. All right. So, I need to tell him my real name, dude. I'm telling you, ciento por ciento moreno. All right, this 0% Latina, Latino. All right. Funny enough, again, when I was uh, telling somebody about this today, one of my coworkers, we had both been to the Dominican Republic, and as I'm sitting at the Dominican, we're at our resort, and this is a joke that my wife and I have had since we've been married, and the joke is more or less, so we're at the little breakfast bar, and they had like a little uh, dude, Mr. Vasquez, I'm down for barbecue and drinks, dude. Have have you seen my live streams? But anyway, So I'm in the Dominican Republic, and I'm at this little breakfast bar buffet type thing. And I'm like, hey, my man, what type of cheese is this? And he gives me that look like, what are you saying? I don't speak no damn English, right? Huh. That's on you. Yes, none of your damn business. But so my man is like, I say, hey, what type of cheese is this? And he's like, so me being me, I'm like, amigo, ¿qué tipo queso eso? ¿Qué tipo queso? Queso? It's queso normal. And that has been the joke between my wife and I for 14 years now. It is, ¿qué tipo queso eso? And I'm basically asking them, for those that don't speak Spanish, what type of cheese is this? And the guy's like, tipo queso? This queso is normal cheese. I'm like, no. It's like queso americano, queso, I'm like, just like goat cheese or queso de Switzerland, the queso de. He was like, queso de. He was like, es blanco queso normal. I'm like, but what type of cheese is it? Like, what type of cheese? He's like, the hell are you talking about? It's normal cheese. I'm like, well, what is the non-normal cheese? Like, I just didn't get it. But anyway, it was hilarious. No, it wasn't queso fresco. It was just it. Queso fresco is like a South American thing. I was in the Dominican Republic, and like I'm telling you, like to the point where we started talking, right? And he's like, "Your mother, she's from here, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm like 100% Moreno." He's like, "No, your father, your father, he's from here. He's from the Dominican." And I'm like, "No, I'm black, man. I'm black. I'm from Philadelphia." He's like, "Why do you know Spanish?" What do you mean? Why do I know Spanish? I learned Spanish. He's like, he's looking at me like I'm the D, like I'm a freaking narc or something. Like, but why did you learn? Like, because I learned Spanish. Like, there's nothing wrong with expanding my horizons and learning just enough to get myself in trouble as far as conversational Spanish. My man was not believing me. He was like, mentiroso. I'm like, dude, I'm not a liar. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but I don't like I'm not Latino. He's like, mentiroso. Just kept calling me a liar. Anyway, uh John is funny. Dude, I'm dead serious, man. I've been telling that story for 14 years now. It is the truth. I'm situationally funny. When I tell a story, I can tell a good story. That's for damn sure. But anyway, shit. We're at an hour and 38 minutes. I mean, anybody want to round this up to 11 o'clock? Just comment ones or twos down, or comment an 11 down in the description. I keep losing folks. All right, damn you guys. You guys are funny. So there's 7 of you here left. If you haven't already, please leave me a thumbs up. It helps to dog. There's no way I'm talking till 2 a.m. Yeah, well, guess what? It is 10:45 here in Baltimore, and I've been up this morning. This morning I kind of slept in. I slept in. It was 4:41 when I got up. Usually I'm up at 4:15. Tomorrow I'll get to sleep in. I won't be up tomorrow until 6:15. Hey, Rob, I understand. I gotta get up too. Oh, all right. Ronnie, you said you're commuting? Dude, I wish I could tell you how much video I watch while driving to Ville 945. 4:30 in the morning. Why? Because I gotta get up and go to work. I don't do barbecue full time anymore. I go to work, man. John, you and I are on the same time zone, so it's Deville, not Devil Smoke, man. Damn. Uh, but yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm delirious. Hold on, time out. Can I just say thank you guys? Like, no BS. Like, really, thank you. Um, I know, I have a good time hanging out with you guys. I consider you guys all my friends. But I really do. Devil is Spanish for Deville? I don't know about that one. So my job, my occupation technically is computer repair. All right, Justin. Well, I appreciate that, man. I've been working on the editing. Really, I have. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things where there just came a point where it just kind of clicked, and I'm like, all right. Well, I know the Diablo. Yeah, I agree. Diablo is Spanish for devil to me. Um, I'm down to earth because I'm just a regular guy, man. That's why people are like, oh, you're a pit master. No, I'm not, man. I just start fires. I'm no pit master. Oh, you're a chef. Nah, hell, I'm not. I ain't go to culinary school. I'm self-taught. And by self-taught, I mean I've been watching videos on YouTube just like you guys watch my videos on YouTube. No BS, man. I'm just having fun with this. Right? That is it. I am a professional arsonist. I will take that one on. There's my no, actually I don't say professional arsonist, I say head arsonist. On my Facebook page it says head arsonist at Steel Drum Smokers Barbecue. Definitely. Head arsonist. When or if I get some, shirts or whatever, head arsonist. I know, right? Guess what? I actually, truth be told, I was in line for security clearance to work down at FBI headquarters. It didn't come. Well, the clearance came through. The contract fell through. Gosh, an hour and 42 minutes. Yeah, nobody's gonna see that one unless you're here right now, and there are 6 of you here. If you are still here, just like drop a 1 down. More stories, man. I'm getting ready to go to bed. What you want to say? Maybe I missed a section. What are you doing wrong? All right, Kevin, dude. Yeah. Well, John, I wish I could have taken him some brisket, but at that point when it was that, um, I didn't know, I didn't know, I didn't know anything about brisket. So Torgi, here's the thing: if you're cooking your brisket at the same temperature, so if you start your brisket at 200 degrees or 225, it's gonna take you forever. My target temperature is between 225 degrees and 275 degrees, and I shoot for 250. I don't want my smoker to get any lower than 225, and I don't want to get any higher than 275 until I wrap it. And then once I wrap it, I kick up the heat. You kick up the heat, and it's going to take you less time to cook. There's no way it should take hours. Asian, it's funny. So here's another quick story. There's a woman that I used to work with. I'm not gonna say her name or anything like that, but she worked on our contract. Now I will tell you this: I work on an IRS contract. She worked on our contract for however long, and she was in the pipeline for the Secret Service, and she actually became a Secret Service agent. She was definitely badass, and she like one of the things, this is a weird thing. She was a math major, I believe, but she knew pi to 20 digits. Random fact, I know pi to, 3.14596.2. I think that's what it is. And every year I try to teach myself one additional digit of pi. So every pi day, I try and teach myself an additional digit of pi. So right now I'm at 3.1415962. Yeah, I think I might have it wrong. Clear. Uh, yeah, he was. You know what? You know what's crazy? Um, so, uh, well, John, you're the professional here as far as knowing if it tastes better than it looks. Now, my question is, what about the pulled pork and the chicken? So, if you guys don't know, that video where I sent the brisket to John. Uh, John has looked out for me. John had Porter York send me a box, like a random ass box of meat. All right. There were porterhouse in it, pork porterhouses in it. There were New York strips in it. There were bone-in fillets in it, and bone-in ribeyes and also fillets. So the videos where I'm talking about John, hey, thank you, John. John is in this room, so if you can, thank John for sending a box of Porter and York for me. Uh, yes, definitely. John was like, "What? Porter and York? Who are these guys? Wait a minute. I can I'm gonna reach out to them and I'm gonna send you food, send you brisket, or excuse me, send you steaks and other stuff to try to cook. So, on not on my behalf, but to get your opinion. And I'm I won't say I'm still cooking it, but I'm done cooking it. But the videos are still coming from me cooking the meat that John had sent. Like John, hold on, let me bring it in. Like bring it in. I'm greatly appreciative. Like seriously, thank you very much. Man, tomorrow's video, yeah, still tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is proof of that. Like I cooked the New York strips tomorrow, and my goodness, I understand why people eat New York strips now. Hey, all this is one of your friends to subscribe to this channel. So look, John says, hey, all that he asks, he says, no thanks necessary. All that I ask is to ask one of your friends. So there are 7 of you that are still hanging out on this live stream. Do me a favor. Tomorrow's video. Take tomorrow's video, share it on your Facebook pages, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, and say, yo, check out this guy. This guy cooks the hell out of almost everything. Talking about me. Right? But share the video. That's all I ask. If you like what you saw or if you learned something in the video, give me a thumbs up. That's it. Simple. I'm not, anything crazy. I'm not doing anything crazy. Oh, John says if we get Dash to 3,000 subscribers, he'll send another box of meat. All right. I'm definitely appreciative. And not only am I appreciative, my family is too. My sons and my daughter, they love being on camera. They're hams, all 3 of them. My oldest taste tester, he's not the biggest ham, but my younger my son, my middle son, he is a ham. He will entertain you all damn day if left to his own merit. And my daughter, same thing. She definitely, if you guys could see some of the stuff I edit out of the videos, that's all I'm saying. I'm not doing any bloopers or anything like that. I'm not trying to exploit my kids, but damn, they are good kids. Definitely good kids. I give them grief, and I want more from them, for them, and from them. But they're definitely good kids. I love my kids, even when they get on my nerves. So, but Ronnie, no, thank you, man. You don't want to say that your wife thinks you're cheating on her with me. I get it. I have an uncle that it was funny because my wife. I used to talk to my uncle as so much that my wife would basically call my uncle the other woman. So, but my uncle now has another woman, so he's actually engaged. All right. Goodness gracious, guys. So look, there's 6 of you left in the room. If you haven't already, please. Oh, 7. It jumped up one. There's 7 of you left on the stream. If you haven't already, basket full of firebox needed to mention. All right, so Kevin says, anyone cooking on an old country wanting to make a basket for the firebox and he needs to know the dimensions. Honestly enough, Kevin, you probably would be able to go out. Uh, you probably would be able to go out to the old country website or whatever and find the dimensions of the firebox. Christiana is about hour and a half away from me. Probably, I drive pretty fast, so hour and 15 minutes probably, plus or minus. You gonna be in Christiana? Any at some point? Are you going to a fireman convention or something? So Christiana is well, the big thing of Christiana, there's a mall. Well, like I said, about an hour and a half south. That's a good idea. So Justin says for you to search on the smoking meat forums. If you haven't already, and I don't go out to the smoking meat forums very often, every now and again I'll see something and it points me to the smoking, excuse me, smoking meat forums. If ever I have a question about something, only problem is you have to take the information you get off of a forum with a grain of salt. Those guys that spend so much time on forums, they're like, oh my gosh, man. Whew. Some of those guys are in way too deep. Way too deep. You need 3 dimensions when you're making a cube because you're not just making a flat. So you wouldn't need to know how deep is it also, but maybe you can figure that part out. Difference between making a cube and making a like a rectangular 2-dimensional, yet making it 3 dimensional. So you need a depth as well. The or height, I don't know. Grown folks drink clear. All right, this is moonshine corn whiskey. I just call it clear. Went from dude, man, how you gonna come to Baltimore and go to Chaps and then not say hi? Bob and I are on a first name basis. Like, Bob has specifically told me to not put up to sell barbecue close to his establishment because he's a big fan of my pulled pork. So here's the question: how long have you been subscribed to my channel and following me versus you coming in this area in in November, because I will break for food, dude. Like, yo, all you had to do was hit me up and let me know you were coming, and we could have sat down and broke bread. Like, real talk, real talk. I had so the only problem, food and clear, hell yeah, man. The only problem with going to Chaps is on the other side of town to where I am, and I have to drive through the tunnel to get there, which isn't that big of a deal, especially considering it's how I used to pick up my kids my sons from school on the other side of town. So if I had extra time, I would stop at Chaps and have lunch. But Bob is the guy who owns Chaps. Bob he's a cool cat, man. He's real down to earth, and I like talking to Bob. Like, me and Bob could chop it up all damn afternoon. Usually, I won't say all day, but all afternoon. He's a cool cat. I like Bob a lot. Um, Shout out to Ron Temp. Is it Templeton? Tempman? I don't know, but Ron is who. I mean, I kind of went in and talked to Bob, but Ron like cemented me being on that level. His name is Bob. I, I'm not from Baltimore. I live in Baltimore. There's a big difference. Wow, really? That's what's up, man. I I I am blown away at how long some of you guys have been subscribed to my channel. Like, I'm a regular dude. I don't do anything spectacular enough to garner the attention and the admiration I feel from some of you guys. Like, you guys are like, oh man, you're so motivating, and you're doing the best thing ever. And I'm like, man, I'm just putting out videos. Anyway, well look, um, it is 10:59. No. So, John, Bob has not had my brisket. He has only had pulled pork because I took some pulled pork there to him in like a half pound container, and my man took it, warmed it up, and was like, "Yo, oh man, you know what, Ronnie? I tell you, and I've said this before. I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. Though I don't subscribe as deeply as I used to, but he is all about documentation. He took the wine library and like boom, 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 kicked it up. Um, I have never cooked at a competition cook off. Well, I'll take that back. The one competition I've actually cooked at was for my coworkers, and that was when we had a macaroni and cheese cook off, and I won it. And all that I won was this pat on the back. What was the name of the video I recommended everyone watching my last live? I don't know, John. I try. I was actually thinking about that earlier today, where I have a video and I try to point folks back to past videos so that they don't keep asking me and talking about the same things. But nonetheless, I have to get to bed, guys. Thank you. No, it was called the science of barbecue. That's all right. It was called the science of barbecue. Picking up clothes off the floor and my damn sons. It was called the science of barbecue, and it talked about how or what the Maillard reaction is and how you get that pink area in your food. But nonetheless, like I said, guys, I gotta get to bed. Thank you guys as always for watching. We'll try to do that Again, yes, the Science of Barbecue is on YouTube. I'm cutting out of here because if I keep asking and or answering questions, I'll be here for another half an hour, 45 minutes. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.